Hi everyone, welcome to Observability Guru. We are in middle of a new Datadog tutorial video series for 2026. We have already created around 7 videos which we have covered uh, the Datadog infrastructure observability with AWS. So this series is heavily focused with AWS. We have a demo application which is hosted in EC2 environment. So we have enabled the infra observability, we enable APM, we enable Datadog RAM, we create a service level indicator dashboard. So we have a single truth for our application and the dashboard. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on creating alerts. So alerts are two-part. First, let's try to ensure we keep the lights on, right? That's the most important thing. The first thing we have to do, we have to get ourselves alert if something goes horribly wrong for our application. So that's where we're going to start first. Okay, so I have logged into my AWS EC2 console, and here I have around up, 5 microservices running. So these are hosting my application as the backend APIs. So if I go to my application, it's a car rental application. So we have the car details coming up from a microservice and the location details coming from location service and the reservation detail coming from the reservation service as well. So now we have to enable alerting, right? So we go with the uh, worst case option. So what if our application goes down? And before we use telemetry, observability, and uh, we do all those nice things, we just want to ensure basics are there. So we babysit this application properly. For that, the first thing I will go to do is I want to ensure if this application goes down, I get an alert. So probably I just want to do the first thing is to monitor this endpoint. So because if the services at least Angular front end is down or some issue, I'll get alerted. So I'll go to Datadog monitors. We'll go to new monitor section. Here, there are a lot of options the Datadog is providing. So we are able to create monitor based on metric. That's the metrics we have enabled part of infrastructure observability or APM, application performance monitoring, or based on real user monitoring, the metrics we have enabled, or any other custom integrations you do. You can even create custom alerts, custom metrics by using probably log. Based on some of the data in the logs, we can convert into a metric as well, so that you can create alerts using metrics. And then we can create alert based on the change, based on the values change, the changes which is visible. And then we can create based on anomalies, outliers, we can forecast things, we can look at the host availability, we can obviously go deep into APM, we can look at the audit trail, we can look at the configuration, integrations and test, we can the composite something new, data quality is something new which they have introduced. And then we can create alerts based on error tracking, events, integration, live processes, and for LLM observability, for the logs, and many more, SLOs, everything. So Datadog provide comprehensive capabilities to create alerts, and all your alerting needs, it has a capability to support. So here, the first thing we are going to do now is not necessarily going to this particular alert, but let's go to digital experience where we had our real user monitoring which we have configured. Let's create a synthetic test. So let me wait until we get our synthetic test loading section. Yes, we have synthetic test loading. So we will go for simple API test. We will have another video. We will focus predominantly on the synthetic test. Okay. So we are here. So we have the URL where which we going to monitor. So we will put it here and probably let it run for once just to check whether everything is good. It's have the access. Okay, so here it's all about like defining this. We our request, so it's this HTTP call. We will select our environment to say it's for prod. You can add your teams, additional tags. I'm not going to do that now. Then it's your validation. Maybe I'll say this page or the API call has to happen within 1000 milliseconds. We are expecting 200 HTTP status code, and I don't want to do it in all the locations. Let me just for the moment, let's say we will do it in from Ohio. And AWS, the Datadog is doing this based on some of the compute hosted in the cloud provider database, the data centers. So you can see like Ohio, it's AWS, and then you have Virginia, it's Azure, Tokyo is GCP. Likewise, they have going into, they don't have to do it, but they have done it and give some little visibility into where we are invoking it. We can have it retry if some first attempt fail within 300 milliseconds. We can ask it to do a reattempt. We can run it every 1 minute, 15 minutes, likewise. So here let's put say we can integrate this with the uh, alert with the emails or Slack, which we will test later. So for now, we have this. Let's create a priority. This is P1. And probably let me just go and save this. It will take a bit of time, and short time that this will start green and we will able to have our first alert. Yes, the alert is turned on green now. Monitor is turned on green actually. So we have our first monitor. So what it does is now in case of any issue with this particular application, that particular endpoint, the URL is not working, we will get ourselves alert. So next we want to ensure we go and monitor our EC2. What if like EC2 goes down? Then everything is over, right? So let's create a monitor to get ourselves alert if the EC2 goes down. So we have to go to monitors and new monitor, and here we can select host, and I can automatically pick the particular host I am using, and then I can say EC2 host availability. We can again add this with alerts with the emails or the Datadog on call. There are mobile labs, paging, Slack. There are a lot of options, but at the moment we'll just focus on creating the basics. So we'll make it a P1, create the alert. Yeah. So there's no data at the moment. You can give it like couple of seconds, it will start appearing green. Okay, so our alert is now turned green. So we have brand new host monitoring alert for us. So if I take a post, what we have done, we created synthetic test, API based synthetic test to check whether our application is running, the availability of our application, the web application. Then because it's hosted in EC2 instance, we create a one host monitor to check the availability of EC2 host. Second, uh, within EC2 also I have a lot of services running, right? Like in case if one of these services comes down, then again everything goes for toss. So let's go and create a new monitor again to monitor the processes. So here I can look at the live processes. I select for live process because we have enabled processors here. So we can select search process. So let me just select probably location service. Yes. So here you can see the moment I select the process, you can see the process count is shown as 1. So I can make sure that, so this is the process. I can make sure that uh, if this count comes below 1 to alert us. So if it is below 1, that means this process is down. So you can say, we can configure to say location service availability, another P1 track. Yes. So we will wait for a couple of seconds. Then once it's turned green, then we will have our location service availability alert as well. Yes, the monitor is green now. So we have our first location service availability check. So what it does is it's going and check whether that location service process is up and running. So you can do this for our car service, reservation service, and other services as well. So if I go to my monitor and look at the list, I already have a couple of monitors here. Let me check the ones which I have defined. So we have a monitor to check the availability of the car rental app. We have EC2 host availability. We have monitor for location service availability. Right. So when we are creating these monitors, we can use tag it to particular services. We can define the respective tags so that and we can come up with a good alerting the message template, and we can so that it has the consistency across all your monitors, and then these monitors we can send it to email or the your on call, how even to uh, trigger to Slacks and other channels as well. So this is again a very powerful feature. The monitors will enable you to get yourself alert in case of an issue. So this video we have look at enabling synthetic test, and we created host monitoring alerts, and we created process monitoring alert as well. So these I like to call it as keeping lights on. It will just ensure you will get alert in case of a particular issue. So this is what we're going to cover part of this video. Stay tuned for the next video where we will go through metric based alerts and predominantly focus on APM so that we can create some alerts for our car services. Thank you for tuning in.